Oh, hell yeah, people. Welcome to the podcast, Stop Crying Poser, greatest podcast known to man, as voted by the guy that invented peanut butter. Carver, he told me that this is a really good podcast, so you got to take his word for it. I appreciate everyone who tuned in live today. We have Keith Skates, Day Day, iBook Boy, Grog, Dickistan, Meatball Head, Ishwave, Day Day, Geiges, Love My Toe, maybe a couple other lurkers in there that I missed. Sometimes I miss the names. I try to read them in order, but I can't do it. Maybe I'm dyslexic and no one ever told me. It's been kind of an eventful week. Oh yeah, by the way, we do this podcast every single Friday right around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. It is currently 4:44, so we're an hour and 14 minutes late, but better late than never. And sometimes when it's late, it's better. I had to do it late because I had another shit attack. I woke up. First thing I did when I woke up. In fact, the only reason I woke up was because of a dookie. I had to take a duke, rush to the bathroom, take a duke, go in there, start making breakfast. Another shit attack. Boom. Sets me back. Plans are all going awry. Then I start the podcast, right? Or the pre-show. Had to do another shit attack. And I'll tell you why. Number one, it's this ramen. I've told you guys ramen's one of my favorite foods, like, in the world. I mean, everyone likes pizza, right? You know, everyone likes nachos and shit. But ramen's one of those foods that I really enjoy. You can't eat it all the time. It's not the most healthy. I'm talking about the actual authentic ramen, not the shit that comes at the grocery store. I'm saying the real life shit where some old Asian man who's 115 years old slaves away fucking stirring pork bones for 6 straight days and then eventually, you know, puts all these special toppings on it. Boom. It ends up being great. So I saw one of my favorite casinos downtown, Fremont Casino. We used to go there because it had a sports bar, and like everything in my life that seems to be going well, they demolished it. They demolished the sports bar, and they created a whole new section, a big food court with a smaller sports bar. So they made the sports bar smaller and shittier. Now they have a giant food court with some pretty good options, right? They had a Dunkin' Donuts in there. They had a little healthy food spot. They had a place that only does chicken tenders. And then they had one that said Tomo Ramen. I should have fucking known. I looked in there. Not an Asian person in sight. So old dude, some teenager was in there stirring some pots. I was like, oh God, this is terrible. These guys are making $11 an hour. There's no way they're taking pride in their work. And, Jesus, they served me the ramen in this little to-go bowl instead of an actual bowl. So I should have known, right? I should have never, it's really my fault. I should have never looked at food court and thought, oh, gourmet fucking Japanese cuisine. That's going to be great. Although I did have poke nachos, which was pretty good. Terrible ramen, fucked up my stomach. And then after that, started drinking, right? Went back to the house, started drinking. Oh, it was fucked. Here, the belly is a complex thing, right? Started off with the White Claw, hit a White Claw, then hit a White Claw. Delicious, cool, White Claw. Then hit Jameson and like habanero pickle juice. Boom, hit that. Okay, stomach's kind of hot. Jameson, okay, cool. Then a Michelob Ultra, then a vodka soda, then a fucking Fireball. Then we're just mixing them all up, just fucking everything up, dude. And then the ramen. You add all that alcohol, then you add the ramen, and then this morning I had some chicken that was past its due date, right? But you know what? Like, I need my stomach to be an iron, like the Titanic, except one that doesn't sink. But last night my stomach, it hit the iceberg, so that's why we're late today. That's my big, long-winded excuse as to why I'm late. Yeah, no one should ever eat that ramen in Fremont Casino. It's called Tomo Noodles. No, it should be called No Noodles. Don't do it. Yeah, as Uncle Roger would say, his ancestors were crying. There's definitely some crying ancestors at what they presented to me as a bowl of ramen. Yeah, it was fun though. Got out of the house, went down there, a couple bars, went back to the house, hung out. So that was cool. More importantly, if you guys have not seen my recent upload on Steve Hates Skating, you guys can also find that YouTube channel just by going to stevehatesskating.com. It's easier that way because the new YouTube has an @ symbol, and it confuses other social media platforms when you try to put a link that has an @ symbol in it. So stevehatesskating.com. I interviewed Lil Wayne. Yeah, I don't know how we got lucky enough to do that, but Lil Wayne also, if you haven't seen the video, he drops some pretty interesting information about how not fond of Mexicans he is. So I don't know if this is something that he's rapped about. I don't remember hearing it in any of the music, but we interviewed him. We got the scoop, the inside scoop. Lil Wayne, not the biggest fan of Mexican people. So, you know what? It's free country. He can say whatever he wants to say. Kanye's doing it. Fucking Lil Wayne's doing it. But you guys can watch that interview again at Steve Hates Skating. It's awesome. We don't have very many topics today. In fact, I'd be surprised if this podcast goes over like 25 minutes just because it hasn't been a very eventful week. I have been watching movies a lot. You know what I also got back into that we stopped for a while? Playing pool. Billiards, go to the bar, play pool. I feel like we went like 3 weeks and never played a game of pool, and then all of a sudden I had this urge to play pool again, and now we've been playing like every other day. So that's fun. New hobbies, new things. It is just like everything in life, doing things casually is fun until you get to that point where you're like, well, I'm getting kind of good at this, right? I feel like I'm getting kind of good at pool. Or same with bowling. Sometimes we go through these phases where we go bowling every single Wednesday. We go bowling. And I always hit this same plateau where I say to myself, dude, we're getting good. I'm getting good at bowling, right? I broke 200 last month, which to me is huge, right? It's amazing. My goal is always to beat 150. My average is probably 145, right? If you guys are bowling fans. So I'm at this point where I'm like, I'm getting kind of good. I mean, like not compared to a good bowler, but for someone with no formal training, I don't have my own shoes or my own ball. I feel like I'm doing good. I'm always doing better. Let me put it like this. If there's some people to my left and people to my right bowling and they don't have no like advanced technique, I'm definitely doing better than them, right? I hit it with the curve ball too. Couple of turkeys here and there. Turkey season. But just like pool, we get to that point where I say, man, I'm starting to get good at this. And then you start to contemplate like, oh, maybe I should get my own ball. Maybe I should get my own stick. But in skateboarding, how everyone has their very specific preference, Some people only will skate indies for trucks. Some people will only skate 8.25. Some people even get weird with the deck measurements. You want an 8.38. Like, okay, so that 1/4 of an inch wasn't enough. Now you need to narrow your skateboard down to an 1/8 of an inch. I think what if bowling is like that? What if I buy a ball and then it ends up not being what I wanted, or it's not the right size or the right shape or the right fucking weight? Or what if I buy a pool stick? I read all these articles like, oh, don't get one on Amazon. They're going to be terrible. And then it's like, well, can I get one that's like $20? No, they're all terrible. That's annoying. Like if you asked me what's the cheapest skateboard you could get and then still have it work as good as it needs to work, I'd say go to a shop, find a blank, get some reds, borrow some trucks from a friend, and then you're good. You know what I mean? Just make sure you have good bearings and make sure the board is not from Walmart, I guess. But I don't have anyone to walk me through getting a bowling ball or getting a pool stick. One time in my life I went, I don't know what it's called. It's frisbee. Is it called frisbee golf or disc golf? It's like golf, but with frisbees. Like, yeah, okay, well, I'm stupid. Listen, I had a friend who's like, oh, he went out there, he spent $100 on fucking frisbees, like an idiot. Like, okay, are you really gonna? This is your hobby now? But as my friend Nick Stems always says, you buy once, cry once. Maybe what I should do is go drop $100 on a pool stick, just so I can get drunk and leave it at the bar. You know what? I feel like I've already talked myself out of it. Anyways, you guys want a chance to win a free Ninja Lifestyle sticker pack delivered directly to you as long as you live in America? Yes, I would love to win a free Ninja Lifestyle sticker pack delivered to my house as long as I live in America. Well, I'm happy that I'm happy that we're on the same page, because all you have to do is answer this trivia question correctly. The trivia question is, how many hearts do octopuses have? Yeah. I don't know, dude. How many hearts do they have? Like me, I have only one heart that I know of. I love that I've been watching like these cops reruns, and I love when people say "not to my knowledge." It makes me laugh so much when everyone's like, "Hey, there's not any drugs in the car, is there?" Not to my knowledge. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You might as well just say yes. Like the answer is either yes or no. There doesn't need to be a not to my knowledge. That there's never a reason to say not to my knowledge. iBook Boy is the winner with 3, but he doesn't live in America, so Day Day is the winner. But I think Day Day just won, so Day Day and iBook Boy can collectively choose another winner. 3. They have 3 hearts. How many hearts do octopuses have? They have 3 hearts. While one keeps blood supply flowing to various organs, there are 2 more that are responsible for pumping blood by the gills so they can pick up oxygen. Who would have thought, right? That's what I like to do here on Stop Crying Poser. It's the greatest podcast for many reasons, but one of which is because we always learn something new. Can you imagine being on the street and Mr. Beast walks up to you and he says, "Hey man, for $5 billion, you have to tell me how many hearts an octopus has." And then you look at him and you say, "Listen, guy, turn it down. You don't have to fucking yell, okay? 3 hearts, give me the money. Fuck off." If that could be a real situation. Okay, what else do we got? Skateboarding. You guys want to talk about skateboarding? I mean, we are at an all-time low in the skateboarding world, right? It's the end of the year and we have nothing to be thankful for. And I'll tell you why. Skater of the year, ollied over a table diagonally and did a flat ground backside flip. So the bar has been lowered. Nigel does the craziest tricks ever done. This other guy does a flat ground backside flip and they give him his 2nd consecutive skater of the year. Okay, cool. And then to add insult to injury, the trick of the year is an ollie. That's right. The first trick you would ever learn. A guy went up a little ramp, ollied, and then went down a ramp. Are you fucking kidding me? And he did it in the weirdest looking possible way. Can you imagine? Like, I'm trying to think of a metaphor, like what that would be, but I don't know. It'd be like if we had like UFC fighter of the year, like UFC fighter of the year, and they just picked Jake Paul. You'd be like, he doesn't even fight in the UFC. He's not even doing the same sport. And he'd be like, "Hey, pipe down. He's the best UFC fighter. Shut up. He's the best." Trick of the year. This has been a crazy year for skateboarding tricks. Some of the craziest shit of all time have been done. But it's one person. You know what? You know what it is? There's these cycles where skateboarding just goes back to the basics, right? They do this thing, you're like, "Oh yeah, what's the hardest trick? I don't know, like switch dark slide down a handrail." Nah. Let's make it an ollie and then go fast. Oh, cool. Can you imagine building your entire career out of doing ollies and 50-50s? You really are taking it back to the basics. Your first trick you ever did on a curb was a 50-50. First trick you ever did on the sidewalk outside of your home, right, or your apartment complex or whatever. You took your skateboard out there on Christmas when you're 4 years old and you did a little ollie. And you only went off the ground this much, 1 little inch off the ground. Oh boy, I did my first ollie. Imagine for the rest of your career you never had to learn another trick. 50-50s and ollies, and that's it. And then 20 years later, you get trick of the year. I don't know, or skater of the year. Although he did a switch ollie, so okay. A shalappy, or just do a shalappy grind. Oh man, I'm introducing a character next week. If we can get it filmed, his name is gonna be Slappy Boy. Hi, I'm Slappy Boy. I'm not going to give away too much of my ideas, but for the new channel, Steve Hates Skating, we're going to get Slappy Boy. Hi, I'm Slappy Boy. Oh, cool. Like, why do they call you that? Oh, watch me. I'll show you. Oh, shit. Okay, you guys have collectively decided that Dickistan gets the sticker pack. So, Dickistan, send me a DM, and I'll get that to you. Let's talk about movies for a moment. I watched a couple of movies that I liked. One of which was called Bad Words. I don't know if it's new or old. I think it's probably an older movie. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Got kind of drunk in the middle of the movie and smoked some weed, so I don't remember exactly what the fuck was going on. But it's a grown man who enters a spelling bee, like national spelling bee competition for children. So, it'd be like, it's like clearly not fair, and he's, I don't know, I guess he's a genius. He knows every word. Some of the the dialogue is great. Some of the writing's a little bit weird, but when you're telling a story that's already that far-fetched, you kind of got to give it some liberty. So the movie Bad Words is definitely worth watching. I watched it on Netflix. Pretty good. What else? I watched a series called Flint Town. Again, if you like Cops, Flint Town is okay. It's like you're watching Cops, but everything is HD, and there's a lot more like cinematography done with the interviews, right? They tell a story of the town of Flint, Michigan, where they have a terrible water supply, right? The water's not safe to drink. Turns out that was a big conspiracy that I didn't know about. I thought the water just went bad one day. It turns out the government of Flint was in charge of fucking up their own water. And then it went on to become like one of the poorest cities in the country. And then their police department is the lowest funded police department. And they do a whole documentary on that, on just like how fucked these cops are. They don't have any money to do their jobs. Their whole police department had like, I think five police cars or something, like a ridiculously small amount of police cars for a huge crime-ridden city. And there's like a bunch of corruption going on with where the money goes. I guess they did this big petition to raise money for the police, but the government took the money and it just disappeared. The police never got it. And then the citizens are mad because all this crime's happening, but there's not enough cops. Really cool show. And it shows both sides. They also, one of the episodes kind of focused on the 2016 election between Hillary and Trump. And I think I hope I'm not fucking up the timeline here, but it was like the white cops and the black cops like had very differing opinions on who should be the president and why. So it shows the tension even amongst cops. Really in-depth show. If that's something that at all seems interesting to you guys, definitely check it out. Flint Town is what it's called. Yeah, I've been watching the movies. I watched another movie, but I don't have it written down. We came up with a really interesting idea. This chick the other day was like, what did she say? She's like, man, in the bar, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'm across the bar and I want to ask if you want a drink. Like, hey, do you want me to get you a beer while I'm across the bar? I'm around the corner. You can't see or yell. She said, well, imagine if we had a comms system. And I was like, bitch, what are you, in the army? What do you mean a comms system? She's like, yeah, a comms system. Like we had like a radio to talk to each other in the bar. First off, the idea that she said comms system instead of walkie-talkie was hilarious to me. We need a comms system to drink beers together. It's that fucking serious. I need tactically, bravo, Charlie, I'm at the bar. You guys gonna need another Michelob or maybe a vodka soda? Red Bull, this is Cockboy. I think we're good over here. But can you please bring back some napkins? Because Officer Silent J dropped his glass and there's ice on the ground. Oh, roger that. I'll be over there in 3 clicks. I think it's funny to me. Okay, maybe no one thinks it's funny. Whatever. You know what? You know what I'm finding out more and more in regards to my new channel. There are some things that I think are so funny, and it might be like a like a narcissism thing. Like I think, like, you know, when you draw a picture, you think that it's better than it really is. Like other people look at it and it's trash. Or like rappers, like when you make a rap song or a guitar music, you think it's gonna be kind of good, but it's not. I feel like that's what's been happening to me and these videos I've been making for the new channel. I think some of them are hilarious. And then I read the comments and they're just like, you fucking made this video? You made this video? Great example is I did a video a week and a half ago about pro skater Mariah Duran doing an interview on the 9 Club where she says like a lot. So she's talking. So anyways, like I was like at this skate spot and like I was like gonna kickflip like, but then like there was like some rocks in the way like, and I didn't really like it. So I took that sentence and I cut out all the words except for the words like. So then when you play it back, it just goes like, and like. I thought it was hilarious, right? And the first video comes out, people are laughing, they're saying it's great. I make the same video, part 2, a little longer, a little funnier, adding in some better pauses. People hated it. It's literally the same fucking video. 1 week ago, everyone loved it. You tell the same joke in a different way, everyone hates it. I don't get it. 3 clicks for Silent Bob. Yeah, I couldn't fucking think of any names, dude. Cockboy and Silent J was what I came up with. That sounds like a Insane Clown Posse cover band. That's it. That's all my notes. That's all I have to talk about. Short podcast today. Also, some of you guys are listening to this on like iTunes or Podbean. You guys can't see that I'm fucking sweating. Whatever, the ramen mixed with the beer, mixed with my lifestyle is really hurting my fucking stomach. And I'm having the poop sweat. Poop sweat. That could be an R&B singer. Poop sweat. Really having a rough time here. Can I get a hell yeah from everybody? I'm just going to end it here. Whatever. Whoever's listening to this, you have more time to do what you need to do. Hopefully I made you laugh a little bit. We do this podcast every single Friday on iTunes. No, fuck, bitch. No, what are you talking about? We do this every Friday on twitch.tv/Ninja Lifestyle. Around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. If you missed this podcast, you can watch the replay on Sundays. And that comes out on YouTube, on Podbean, on iTunes, on Spotify, podcast app, whatever. You guys can go find it. Shout out to Day, Keith Skates, Grog, Gyges, Late Bloomer, Love My Toe, iBook Boy. I also saw Paul Miranda in here. Dickistan. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Not every episode is a home run, right? Sometimes we have episodes where we laugh, we cry, blood, sweat, tears, and shit rolling down the back of my leg. But other times we do the podcast, and it is what it is. It was an uneventful week. You know, nothing funny happened in the news. NFL guy fucking collapsed on the field. He survived. That's nice. It would have been pretty traumatic for 9 million people to all watch a guy die while playing football. I wonder how many times that's happened in history. I do feel like that's one of the new things trending right now in the news is athletes dropping dead. I say that not only because of the NFL guy, but yesterday here in Las Vegas, a girl dropped dead on the field. What was she playing? A crazy fucking contact sport? No. Flag football. So be careful out there. Anything can happen. Keep an eye on your friends. And maybe learn the basics of CPR. You don't have to know it exactly, but learn the basics of CPR because it's getting scary out there. We'll watch a YouTube video on it later. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. You can always send money. Today, no one did, which is cool. I'll just eat a beer for dinner. Instead of being able to eat some food, since no one wants to support the goddamn podcast. I come on here sweating, trying to entertain you people. That's okay. If no one has any money, don't even worry about it. What you can do is tell a friend about the podcast. Tell them you watched this podcast and you really loved it. It was really funny. And then send them the link. I don't think we have a website. Do we have stopcryingposer.com? I don't think we do. Maybe I'll buy that. Shit's like $12 $12 a year. So if anyone was ever thinking of getting a .com and you didn't know how expensive it is, it's not expensive. You guys go do that. And that's it. Everyone have a great night. As I always say, don't drink too much, but don't drink too little. Never go to Fremont Casino and try the ramen. Eat the chicken instead. Something else. Anything else.